What a gorgeous Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021 this is. I'm at Casa de KO here in lovely Avon, Indiana, and it's been an eventful day on a couple of fronts, and I wanted to share two things with you today. First of all, as I take my sunglasses off, look what I got. I got my COVID shot about an hour and a half ago. Here's the selfie I took as the needle was injected. Spare the kids from that image. But, it was painless. I mean, really quick. And I guess this is just a public service announcement. The sooner each of us get in there and do that as our number comes up, the quicker we can go back to whatever normal's going to be. And I know we're all anxious for that. Having just gone to the grocery store, I know there are some people that are still in denial this ever happened. Wear your GD masks. But anyway, it's really easy. And now I'm a card-carrying member of the first COVID shot club, and I look forward to going back on March 30th. I will enter the new realm of, still got to wear a mask, still got to be careful, but I'll feel a lot better about everything then. And the second thing I wanted to talk about was the end of an era, and it truly is. Vernon Jordan, DePaul graduate, a friend of mine, someone I admire and love and always will, died last night. And I wanted to share a couple of small anecdotes about Vernon, who was a civil rights pioneer and came from the South to study at DePaul and went on to become a presidential advisor and a person who really changed the world. And very quietly most of the time and behind the scenes, but in many ways, a revolutionary figure in the African-American world, especially on the business and political side. Vernon had a seat at so many tables and was on so many boards and was truly a power broker. But I want to talk about Vernon the guy, and Vernon was, first of all, class of 1957. My mom, Lois Smizik Owen, was in the class of 1956 at DePaul, and when an African-American prospective student female would be coming into Greencastle to take a look at campus, usually on the train, my mom and her Alpha Phi sisters were called into action to try to arrange a date. They'd reach out to Vernon and say, "Hey, Vernon, there's a woman coming in that you could meet if you'd like." And you have to remember, Vernon was the only African-American in his class. I mean, that story sounds quaint, but his opportunities for even a soda, with a young lady were probably limited given the times and his status as the only African-American on campus. So I've told that story to Vernon a couple of times over the years. I will talk to my mom about it today via Skype, FaceTime. She has dementia and she probably will not remember much of it, but it's a story that connects Vernon, my mom, and myself, and I love it, and I will always love it. And the second thing I would say is I first met Vernon in person in 1982, and as glorious and powerful as he is, just even watching him on video delivering a speech, and he is one of the great orators of all time, which is not overstating it at all, but when he walks into a room, when he walks up to you, he had to be 6'5", and a towering presence with that "Hello, Mr. Owen" voice, and it was imposing as could be. And I think the first couple of times I met him, I froze up a little bit. But over the years, I would, as I got to know him better, I would send him things when I thought he might find them interesting. And he would send me a note back. Here's an example of one of them. And he was always so thankful to remember times in his life and also his connection to DePaul, which was always so strong and so meaningful to him. But on one occasion, I had sent him something, and he called me at my desk. And of course, you're in the middle of a work day, the phone rings, it's kind of this is probably a salesperson or something. You hit the phone, "Hello, Ken Owen," and it's, "Hello, Mr. Owen, it's Vernon Jordan." And it's literally what he would do. And I remember he said, "I just called to tell you today that you are the finest public relations person in America," which I don't believe to be true, and he probably didn't either, but it was about the sweetest thing a person could say to a person. And Vernon was that kind of a guy. I was talking to somebody today about the assassination attempt on his life in 1980, which, by the way, was the first story that CNN broadcast live. It was when Jimmy Carter visited Vernon's hospital room. And this person said to me, you know, it's just a terrible thing. And of course, it was a terrible thing. I'm not minimizing somebody taking, you know, bullets and damn near dying. But the amazing thing is that Vernon was a person who, his character grew as he was facing challenges throughout his life, whether it was racism, whether it was, you know, structures that just didn't want to change. And he was a person that I think actually got stronger when things were thrown in front of him, and did not get angry, and didn't back down either. But that assassination attempt, I think, actually probably made his very strong and loving soul even deeper, and probably took him to places he wouldn't have gone otherwise. And again, I would never wish that on anyone, including especially someone I care about. But Vernon was a person who really exuded confidence, love, and compassion. And he will be so missed. I wanted to, in closing here, just read what he's got on the opening page of his book, Vernon Can Read, which is a great read and really gives you some insight into this guy who did so much against the odds. But, and if you have a chance, go listen to one of his speeches. Especially, I would recommend the speech he made at the DePauw inauguration in 2016. I sat in the second row and wept. There are moments in that speech that will really touch you deeply. But Vernon writes, "To the memory of my mother and father who taught me so much, and to my grandchildren, whom I hope will be instructed and inspired by this effort." My friend, we've been inspired and instructed by everything you've done, and all we can do, all we can hope, is that we can carry on your legacy in some small way. God bless you, Vernon.